Hey, everybody. Welcome to the y'all. We're
What's up,
so excited to
everyone?
have you here tonight. T, looking good out there in the mansion. Mansion's looking a little empty, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I have to move back. You know, bittersweet. Obviously, I get to see everybody on a more regular basis, which is good, but it's going to be sad moving. And so, yeah, emptying out the mansion, doing a little bit of packing and moving. As you can see, all that's left for this room is oh, wrong side, that rug over there,
Yeah, there's a rug over there. Guess she'll leave that for the next crew. Who knows?
clearing out. I might leave it. Who knows?
Hey, we're excited to have you back, and we're excited, and we're a 2-week countdown till we're in the building, November 4th, and so super excited about that. A 1-week countdown left on Sunday nights, and so if you are out there and you haven't made a Sunday night with us soon, our last outside Sunday night is good. We had the lights twinkling last week over the fireplace, and I know I heard some great discussions. So hope you'll join us on our last Sunday night outside. It looks like a beautiful night. We're going to do a good food spread afterwards too. The last time we can do food for a while, so we are excited for sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to get back to some nice Rutter's chocolate milk, and I'm looking very much forward to getting some other Pennsylvania delicacies that I haven't been able to. So much vegan food out here, it's
Yeah,
just
vegan.
it's gross, but I'm looking forward to getting back to some good old Pennsylvania food.
We'll bundle up. Temperatures are dropping, but and as Youth and Hope heads inside, always a warm seat by the fireplace inside. So, hey, looking forward to seeing everybody. We got a great game coming up. In just a minute, we're going to be joined by some lovely contestants. I hear we're selling off things from the mansion. I'm looking forward to that.
Paying some debt.
All right, let's get right to it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen watching at home. We are going to be playing a classic game, normally known as The Price is Right. Today, I unfortunately is my last day in the mansion. I have to liquidate because I have to come home. Also, I didn't exactly take into account exactly how much money all this was going to cost. So I have to sell some stuff from the mansion to, not go into crippling debt. And so I scrounged up some stuff that I found through my Hollywood adventures, a lot of celebrity memorabilia and whatnot. So I've got some great items that any of you could be the lucky owner of if you decide to make the purchase. And as I am calling this game, the price is good enough for me. So I will put an item up. I will give you a brief description of the item, and then we'll each take a turn taking your best guess as to how much that item has sold for in the past. Again, these are all items that I do 100% legitimately have due to my adventures in Hollywood. So let's get started with our first item. Our first item is first item is a used tissue from Scarlett Johansson. A little backstory: we had a movie night a couple weeks ago, and she came by. We watched Marley and Me. It was a very sad one. Obviously, everybody was 6 feet apart, but she teared up a little bit, asked for a tissue, and I happened to find it while we were cleaning up afterwards. So,
Priceless.
Priceless. From none other than the MCU's Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson. Let's go with in the order in which you show up on my screen. So that I'm going to put Shelly. What is your best guess as to how much this priceless item cost?
$15.
All right, $15.
Solid start.
We are doing Price is Right rules, so it's the closest without going over. So that's not a bad guess at all. All right.
It sounds good enough to me.
I'd say maybe 30.
30. All right. Go box out here. All right, Mandy.
I'm gonna go I'm gonna say 99.
99. All right.
99.
All right. So
We got
the
Taylor.
actual retail price is
Oh!
$2,050,
Mandy
For a
just
tissue?
early.
belonging to one Scarlett Johansson. So Mandy, you can make out that check to Taylor Hernandez. All right. Next item. So some of you who are into sports may remember a while back, Serena Williams was playing against Naomi Osaka, had a little bit of a meltdown, upset, destroyed her racket. Funny story, we were playing doubles in the court back behind the mansion. I was her partner. I was not doing very well. She got a little bit upset at me and destroyed another racket, so I asked her to keep that. So I'm going to kind of base this price off of, historical, how much the one that she sold, the one that was destroyed while playing Naomi went for. So for a destroyed Serena Williams tennis racket, what do you think the retail price is? We're going to go in reverse order this time. Mandy.
I'm going with 4,200.
1,200. All
Solid
right.
guess. Solid guess.
Good guess. All right. Shay.
Maybe like 1,050. I don't know.
Great guess, Shay.
50.
Great guess.
Strong guess. All right. And Shelly.
2,000.
2,000. All right. And the actual retail price of one destroyed racket.
Oh!
$20,910.
Wow. Mandy does love this cleaning up. All right, ladies.
Not because I'm any good at
Multiply
this.
all of your guesses by 10. I think you'll be spot on.
You're gonna start it. You're gonna have to start selling stuff at your house, Tim.
I'm a little worried.
All right. Next up. All right. Niall, formerly of One Direction fame. I actually had a get-together, a reunion brunch with the boys of One Direction. They all came over.
Reunion brunch, see?
Yeah. I'm about bringing the people together.
Hey, solid word.
Unfortunately, Zane just wasn't really feeling getting back together. So it is what it is. But they had brunch. Niall had a piece of toast. He only took a couple bites out of one, left some leftovers, and so I grabbed that half-eaten piece of toast, and I decided to sell that. So, what is the actual retail price of a piece of toast, half-eaten by one Niall, formerly of the band One Direction? We're gonna go with Shay first on this one.
Famous
30.
toast, Shay. Famous.
30,000.
30,000. All right.
I
solid
like where
guess.
Shay's head's at now.
Solid guess. All right. We're gonna go with Shelly next.
25,000.
25,000. All right. And Mandy.
I'm gonna go with 9,999.
Oh my word.
I thought she was going with a $1 bet there, T. I thought she was coming in.
Hey,
Oh, I could have
Yeah.
done that. I didn't even think.
could have. She could have. All right. Well, let's see. The actual retail price of a piece of toast, partially eaten by Niall, is
Whoa!
$99,995,
Told you, multiply by 10.
Shay!
which means Shay gets
Yeah,
it.
Shay.
Shay's on the board.
All right. Whew, that's a expensive piece of toast. All right. Next up, I had another little get together. It was a BYOC party. Bring your own couch. Social distancing. Protecting germs, whatnot. This couch was brought by Kendall Jenner. I know it kind of looks like a pile of yarn, but this is actually a couch that belonged to her. So, what is the actual retail price of this funky-looking couch owned by Kendall Jenner? Let's start with Shelly this time.
90,000.
90,000. All right. Shay.
Maybe 100,000.
100,000. All right.
They went 6 figures there.
They did. Going big. Going big. All right, Mandy.
Going with 499,000.
Ooh, boy.
99,000.
Did you multiply that times 10?
Yes.
All right. And the actual retail price of one odd-looking couch owned by Kendall Jenner is $52,000. Everybody went over, which means that Shelly, you're the closest. Shelly gets the point.
Oh, nice.
Shelly.
Lord.
All right. So the score is currently Shelly with 1, Shay with 1, Mandy with 2. All right.
How many we have to play?
What's that?
How many we have to play?
We have, I think, 6 more. No. 5 more. So it's anybody's game. All right. Next up, Justin Bieber came over, hung out. We had a little bit of a pool party. He ended up going home with another friend of ours, Post Malone. Ended up riding in his car and left this car, which is a custom Batmobile car, at my house. I asked him when he wanted to come pick it up. He just said, keep it, man, that's fine. So, how much is the actual retail price of this custom Batmobile car once owned by Justin Bieber?
Hey, T, if you needed me to fly out west and drive it back, I'd be willing to.
Oh, I appreciate it, Tim, but I need the money. So, yeah, I'll pass. Thanks, though. Let's go with Mandy first on this one.
$2,001,000.
$2 million. Good guess. Good guess. All right. Shelly.
3 million.
3
Oh, he's
million.
going high.
All right. In the high game. All right. And Shay.
200,000. That's what I would say.
All right. 200,000. Playing the low game. Very good. Very good. All right. And the actual retail price of one custom-made Batmobile vehicle owned by Justin Bieber is only 100,000.
What?
A little bit of a steal, right? I know.
Almost sounds affordable.
I know. It's crazy. Which means Shay gets the point.
We go, Shay.
All right. Shay with 2, Mandy with 2, Shelly with plenty of time to catch up. All right. Let's see.
Neck and neck.
All right. Next up, Harrison Ford of Indiana Jones, of Han Solo fame, many movies. I had a tie-dye party. He came, brought a couple pieces of clothing. He also brought the whip from Indiana Jones, the one that was actually used in the movies. Unfortunately, because it's made out of leather, we weren't really able to tie-dye it. He got a little bit upset, stormed off, left the whip, and I snagged it. So, how much? I did. I snagged it. He's old, so I was able to outrun him. How much is the actual retail price of the actual whip used in the Indiana Jones films? Just going to start with Shay this time.
$1 million.
1 million. All right, good guess. Good guess. Mandy.
I'm gonna say 100,000.
100,000. All right. Another good guess. And Shelly.
700,000.
100,000. All right. And the actual retail price of one whip used in the Indiana Jones films is $47,000, which I believe means Mandy gets another point.
It's pretty cheap.
That's not bad. That's not bad for
It's half of a Batmobile. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably buy the whip over the Batmobile, considering how many movies it's been. So
Yeah.
All right, not bad.
Resale value there.
Yeah. Thank goodness we weren't able to tie-dye that thing. All right, next up. Lady Gaga. We had a mani-pedi party. She had some fake nails on. She took them off. Figured she wanted to go a little bit natural. So I scooped up the acrylic nails that she took off. So how much does a set of acrylic nails once worn by Lady Gaga cost? I think Mandy, you're first this time.
I'm gonna go with 799.
$799. All right. Shelly?
$1,000.
$1,000. Okay. So far, very affordable compared to everything else. And Shay?
35,000.
35,000.
All right, Shay.
Good guesses all around. The actual retail price for a set of acrylic nails once worn by Lady Gaga is $12,000, which, if we're going by Price is Right rules, means Shelly gets the point.
Woo-hoo.
All right. Moving right along. Okay. This one, I'm going to be honest. I don't really know how I came into possession of this. I just kind of went to the bathroom one day and was sitting there, and it had a note on it that said "From Kim and Kanye." It is a gold-plated toilet.
Gold-plated.
So, a gift from Kim and Kanye, I guess. How much did this toilet go for retail? Let's go with Shelly.
$100,000.
100,000. All right. Mandy.
How about 102,000?
Trying to box her out. Okay.
Don't let her do that to you.
And Shay.
3,050. Wait, no.
What's it gonna be, Shay?
Oh, so $3,050.
$3,050. All right.
Mhm.
All right. The actual retail price of this gold-plated toilet is
Wow.
$750,000.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Toilet is worth 7.5 Batmobiles.
Yep.
I mean, it is made of gold, so.
It is made out of gold. So that means Mandy gets another point.
Should not have gotten that point.
Even though,
She should have stuck with that 300K guess.
my goodness. All
Who
right.
would have known?
Yeah.
And our final item of the day, I'm going to be honest, I just stole these.
I don't blame you.
I mean, I saw them and I had to have them, and now, unfortunately, I got to sell them. But these gold leggings worn by Beyonce, Balenciaga, if I'm not mistaken. So they are quite a piece. What is the retail value of these leggings? Starting with Shay.
Gonna go with maybe 300,055.
300,055. All right, good guess. Mandy.
I'm gonna go with $99,999.
99,999. Yep. And Shelly.
500,000.
500,000. All right.
Taylor, I'm dying to know whether the leggings are more valuable than the toilet. Both gold-plated.
I'm really curious too.
Well, I will tell you now before I reveal the price that somebody came very, very close
Wow.
to the actual retail
That
price.
means the leggings are worth less than the toilet. I just want to make that clear.
That is true. That is true. And I will say that that person came within $1 because the actual retail price is $100,000, which gives Mandy Deslets
I'm a fashion expert, don't
the
you know?
point.
Yes.
And if I'm not
Okay,
mistaken,
Mandy.
gives her the game.
Woohoo! Definitely my fashion
My
expert.
wallet is significantly lighter, but in my wife's wardrobe, we now have a pair of gold-plated leggings.
I'll wear them next Sunday.
Yeah, I think roughly your total. I'm not sure. I'll have to do some calculations, and I'll send you the final bill. Not small though. I can see 3 items right here that are at least $300,000. So that's all we got for you tonight. Thank you for playing the prices. It's about right for me. So I feel much more relieved. There's a lot of weight off my shoulders now. Thank you, ladies, for participating and for donating to the cause of keeping me out of jail and debt. So I appreciate it.
We can't wait to have you back here, T. Looking forward to it.
You too.
Thanks, ladies. We will see you soon. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining me on my walk today. We are on Mount Misery in Valley Forge and just have some thoughts to share with you about, wait for it, week 5, our final week in the series. So, the reason I'm walking is because the point of walking on a trail is forward progress. The point is always to get one step further down the trail. And so turning around and going back would be weird because the whole point is to go in the direction of the trail. So for the deserts in particular, we really can't stand turning around. We would almost never hike down a trail just to turn around and go back. That would be pointless. So most of the time, we will do anything to make a trail a loop, including bushwhacking, driving 2 cars so that we don't have to turn around, but we always want to continue to cover new territory and not go backwards. So, for the past few weeks, we have been talking about the kings of Israel and some of the things that they did that were awesome as leaders, some of the things they did that were not so awesome as leaders. And so I kind of have to remind you before we start this one about the whole story. So God chose one guy, Abraham, and he said, you're going to be the father of a huge nation, many nations, and I'm going to bless the world and show them who I am through you and your family. And so he had a family, and then they grew, and then they end up in slavery in Egypt for 400 years. And that was not good. Not really part of what they might have expected to be the plan, but it happened. And God sent Moses to rescue the people from slavery. They journeyed out into the wilderness and wandered for a long time, but then they got their land, their promised land, and then they needed a leader. They needed someone to lead and guide them, to kind of hold them together as they worked to continue to obey God and follow His purpose for them. So we've been talking about these kings and how some of them did accomplish the purpose that God had for them. Some of them didn't. And a lot of them were just kind of in between. Sometimes they were accomplishing this purpose that God had for them. Sometimes they weren't. And so the ones that did, what have we learned? What did they do? They cried out to God. They fully relied on him in making their decisions. They trusted in his plan and his ways. In their best moments, the good kings did that. But even the good kings had moments of weakness where they just couldn't seem to wait for God. They chose to rely on other things, themselves or other kings or other things. They relied on those other things instead of God, and it kind of led to their downfall. Sometimes it seemed like a really small thing, but to God it was a really big deal. So tonight we're talking about King Solomon. And if you're keeping track, Saul was the first king, then David, and then David's son Solomon became king. And so here is the beginning of Solomon's rule in 1 Kings 3, 7 through 12. I'm going to stop because I'm going to trip on something if I keep walking. 1 Kings 3, 7 through 12. Now, Lord my God, this is Solomon speaking, you have made your servant king in place of my father David. But I am only a little child and do not know how to carry out my duties. Your servant is here among the people you have chosen, a great people, too numerous to count or number. So give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong. For who is able to govern this great people of yours? The Lord was pleased that Solomon had asked for this. So God said to him, since you have asked for this, and not for long life or wealth for yourself, nor have you asked for the death of your enemies, but for discernment and administering justice, I will do what you have asked. I will give you a wise and discerning heart, so that there will never be anyone like you, there will never have been anyone like you, nor will there ever be. So Solomon started out great. He cried out to the Lord and asked, what do I do? How do I govern this people? I can't do this without you. I need your wisdom. And so God was like, yeah, let's do it. This is awesome. But that wisdom ended up turning into Solomon's downfall. 1 Kings 10, 23 to 28. King Solomon was greater in riches and wisdom than all the other kings of the earth. The whole world sought an audience with Solomon to hear the wisdom God had put in his heart. Year after year, everyone who came brought a gift, articles of silver and gold, robes, weapons, and spices, and horses and mules. Solomon accumulated chariots and horses. He had 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horses, which he kept in the chariot cities and also with him in Jerusalem. The king made silver as common in Jerusalem as stones, and cedar as plentiful as sycamore fig trees in the foothills. Solomon's horses were imported from Egypt and from Kew. The royal merchants purchased them from Kew at the current price. So you might not even notice it if you just read past that, if you didn't know the whole story. But way back before the people even had a king, God said this in Deuteronomy 17, 14 through 17. When you enter the land the Lord your God is giving you and have taken possession of it and settled in it, and you say, let us set a king over us like all the nations around us. Be sure to appoint over you a king the Lord your God chooses. He must be from among your fellow Israelites. Do not place a foreigner over you, one who is not an Israelite. The king, moreover, this is the important part, must not acquire great numbers of horses for himself, or make the people return to Egypt to get more of them. For the Lord has told you, you are not to go back that way again. He must not take many wives, or his heart will be led astray. He must not accumulate large amounts of silver and gold. So, specifically, the king must not accumulate large amounts of horses, and specifically, those horses should not come from Egypt. Why? Why was that a big deal? Isaiah the prophet, we always have a prophet who tells us the truth, right? Isaiah 31:1, woe to those who go down to Egypt for help, who rely on horses, who trust in the multitude of their chariots and in the great strength of their horsemen, but do not look to the Holy One of Israel or seek help from the Lord. So what did we say was the secret to these kings living out their purpose? Fully relying on God in every situation. But what was their temptation? To rely on horses. And it wasn't about the horses, it was about the war power, the military might that those horses would bring. So like we look at that and we're like, well, that's definitely not my temptation. I definitely don't have any urging to go buy horses from Egypt. But it's because of the looking back. So they saw Egypt to be a very successful empire, very wealthy, very established, and they saw that the horses worked. The horses worked. And so they went back to Egypt and bought horses. But God didn't want them to rely on horses or military might at all. He wanted them to rely on Him. So specifically, He did not want them to rely on horses from Egypt, because that would mean going back, returning to their slavery. It was symbolic of a return to slavery, and God very clearly said, you are not to go back that way again. A relationship with Jesus is a lot like walking on this path. It's all about the forward progress. It's all about moving closer to Him, closer to obedience to Him, closer to following in the purpose that He has for you, which is to bless the world around you and to spread the good news about Jesus. And so every time we are tempted to look back at something that worked for us before, or look back at something that worked for someone else before, or something that is working for someone else now, every time we turn back to those things and rely on them, it's like going back to Egypt. It's like turning around and walking backwards on this path away from the purpose and plan that God has for you. So for some of us, it really is about the stuff. For some people, it's money. It's your career that you have planned, that you are going to, work out and you're going to be successful. Sometimes it's big stuff. Sometimes it's just little stuff like the new phone, the latest, greatest game technology, the new shoes, the new clothes. For some of us, it's food. And we have such a hard time turning around and relying on those things instead of God in those moments. For some of us, it's not material stuff, but feelings are the things we go after. They can be just as powerful as material things. So I don't know if you remember the story, but when the Israelites left Egypt, they, got all whiny and complainy about the lack of food. And so they actually said, we wish we were still slaves in Egypt, because it would be better because our bellies were full and we were content and satisfied. Feelings can be just as much horses from Egypt as anything. I know for me, when I'm stressed or anxious, my temptation to make me feel better is, it's been like a hard day or there's something I'm really worried about. Netflix, YouTube, anything I can watch, especially like a comedy, something funny, to take my mind off it, to give me that feeling of, this is okay, it's gonna be gone. I can make it go away. I can feel fulfilled and happy and content in this moment by watching this show. And every time I do that, instead of going to God with it, instead of praying, worshiping, those aren't the things I want to do in those hard moments. But those are the things that would, in the end, bring me the most contentment and the most fulfillment. So what is it for you? When you're stressed or anxious, or you're thinking about your future, even your future plans, what is it that you think is going to give you contentment and fulfillment? So what are you going to? God wants to be your battle fighter. He wants to be the one we go to for help, for contentment, for fulfillment. He wants to be the first place we go. And the problem is, He is never going to be as immediately satisfying as YouTube, or stuff, or food, or video games, or whatever it is that you want to turn around and go back on the trail for. To take those backward steps of going to other things instead of going to God. But the fulfillment and the contentment that come with worship and prayer and reading His Word and going to Him instead of the stuff, you will find, if you wait for it, it is the most fulfilling, the most content that you will ever be. Thanks for joining me.
How I live for the moments where I'm still in your presence. All the noise dies down. Lord, speak to me now. You have all my attention. I will linger and listen. I can't miss a thing. Lord, I know my wants more of you. My heart wants something new, so I surrender all. All I want is to live within your love, be undone by who you are. My desire is to know you deeper. Lord, I will open up again, throw my fears into the wind. I am desperate for a touch of heaven. Oh, 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 oh. You're the fire in the morning. You're the cool in the evening. The breath in my soul, all the life in my bones. There is no hesitation in your love and affection, the sweetest of all. Lord, I know my heart wants more of you. My heart wants something new, so I surrender all. All I want is to live within your love, be undone by who you are. My desire is to know you deeper. Lord, I will open up again, throw my fears into the wind. I am desperate for a touch of heaven. Oh,